Stream going now. Early. Da-da-da-da-da. Hey, we're back. What is all this? What's all this stuff? So, I didn't touch this over the weekend. I was engaged in another creative endeavor. Going back to pitch writing, which is pretty cool. I've written one pitch that landed a project that actually started, one pitch that landed a project that would have started, but the company closed down, and one pitch that would have got a project if not for the universe at large. It's pretty cool. Condensing ideas down and presenting them to people who have never seen any of it before, or new concept stuff. So it's good. Knock the rust off. But it means I didn't touch this thing at all. So I have some goals, bugs, maybe. Got a lot of debt. I don't like how much debt we're accumulating. So I was going to look into some of that, which will probably require online searching. Unlike the last two videos where I successfully did things on my own. Then I'm like, if I got something else to talk about, what would it be? I haven't talked about leadership as it applies to the video game industry, design specifically, very much. Maybe we can get into that. I've learned some things. Patoo. Can I miss you if I shoot here? No. That's interesting. Am I going to have to make sure that their collision is better? Debt. We don't have a combat model that is any good right now. Found you. Maybe I should make that red instead of blue for their death animation. It's kind of jarring. Go from blue to red. Debt. What is debt? What is debt as it pertains to video game development? It's when you put something into the game with the full knowledge that that thing is going to need to be changed in the future. It's not just bugs. Sometimes it's putting in things that do have bugs in them, which is fine. Part of the development process is going, oh, we need to get stuff in our hands to see how it goes. And then once we have the actual playable thing, then we actually know how things go. And then we could wisely, intelligently inspect that thing and make decisions based on how it should be iterated upon. Which you can't do on paper. Paper's guessing. Paper's always just guessing. Do a bunch of math on paper, maybe some of that will hold water. But when the rubber hits the road, things have a tendency to go haywire. So that's debt. Here's my current debt. In fact, let's actually directly look at it. Oh. A lot of it right now is based on multiplayer. And here's my thought. I didn't start this project with the intent of making a multiplayer game, but learning how to do multiplayer scripting in Unreal and becoming familiar with the universal aspects of multiplayer development in general, that's good. So I'm doing it. If I get multiplayer and it's good and performant and fun, then maybe this game gets a multiplayer mode. Yeah, how about that? Wouldn't that be neat? And if it doesn't, then I could always just say, hey, it's not supposed to be in the game. But for now, for learning, for doing, for being cool, it's there. So keys One player picks up the keys to unlock door, it unlocks doors to all players. That's not technically a multiplayer scripting problem. It works. That is redo the lock and key system for the doors. Which I have not given one drop of brain goo towards. Combat doesn't work correctly in multiplayer. That's multiplayer stuff. I could probably dig into that. Rifle borked. Can't interact with rifle equipped. I need to look at that rifle. It's doing a lot of weird stuff. Switching from the pistol to the pistol from the rifle. It stays on rifle and fires backwards on the client. Multiplayer again. Add internalization node in the animation blueprint for pistol between locomotion and fall loop. I tried fixing this before. What it is going to require is me going back to fundamentals with Unreal Animation. Loosey-goosey, grab stuff from here and there, slap them together, knowledge-wise, isn't going to fix the problems I'm having with the animation. And I've been avoiding it. Like, I'm not an animator. I don't know how to animate, and I don't need to know how to animate. No, I'm going to need to know it if I'm going to have 3D models that animate in my game that I'm making. We're not talking about the enemies, we're talking about the players. The concept for the game is old game development place. Maybe they make consoles and arcade games. Shut down, bought, go clean it up. The company bought this. Go investigate abandoned place, and then like turn on the power, and then bloop, the crap starts coming out of the screen. All the enemies and all the pixel guys. That's why they're pixely. Because they're from old games that didn't really ever exist, but we're making them up for the purposes of our game. But also out of these screens comes the means to fight them. So you don't have real guns. That's not going to do anything. You need the video game guns. That's the game. In a nutshell. Building a story around the stuff that I started making for the game to learn stuff. Kind of all just glommed together. Yeah. No, I've not seen the movie Pixels. Yes, it's fairly similar. Flashlight only works in single player. Another multiplayer problem. So the game works despite all this, right? Oh, and then wait, that's bugs. Here's the actual debt. An enemy-based targeting getting player pawn doesn't work in multiplayer. That's a note that I made whenever I implemented a thing and just said, whatever, get the slot 0 player because it works. I want to get all the other functionality. I gotta get it. I gotta do the multiplayer happy version that works with any of the nearby player pawns. This is what I'm talking about. That's big debt. Big debt. Now, if I was a team of people, then I would want an engineer who knows Unreal 2, not like Unreal 2, Unreal also, in addition to whatever coding chops they've got. And they would help make the systems sing behind the scenes stuff. Hey, it's a system thing that does this. I got a prototype and blueprint. Be like, okay, like here's a document which is basically very clear goals. Okay. Hopefully they look at those things and then they engineer an expandable system that gives me all the hooks I need. Working with engineers is great. I would want an artist. I don't know what I'm doing for the art. The 3D art in the hold on. Pop. The 3D art in the world needs to be realistic enough. Just enough. It can still be stylized. Just realistic enough that these guys exist in contrast to it. We're not making a world that looks like these enemies. These enemies, at least not at the beginning, these enemies come from a different world a pixely 8-bit world into our world. So our world has to be realistic enough to show the contrast between these things. Not photoreal crazy stuff, not mined from the uncanny valley, but real enough that there's a contrast. And then eventually, yeah, maybe you go into their world, or their world, does crazy stuff to our world, or whatever cool stuff we come up with later. That means we need assets for the game world. I literally don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to look around at the assets I already own. I'm going to search around for other assets that are like just real enough. Just real enough. I don't need hyper detailed, tons of lighting shaders, crazy billion polygon per light socket kind of craziness. I just need some representative stuff that looks real enough. Then I have an animator. Maybe this would be an animator. Oh, and the art, that goes to character art too. There's an overlap there with the animation. A character guy. Maybe they could do the animation for all of our 2D guys and 3D guys. Eh? 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 Maybe. Eh? Right? And then I'd have a sound guy, because I don't know what I'm going to do about sound and music. I got my bleep bloop generator. BFXR. Thanks, BFXR. Made those noises. Made that noise. But that ain't music. I'm no musician. You don't want me making the music for this game. And I could just pay someone. I'm not in a position to do that. So what do I do? What do I do about all those things? Here's the answer. Learn. Look at what you have and read the licensing agreements. See if you could use it. Find something online. There's other resources for indie game makers where they can find this kind of stuff. It's kind of like I should probably have like faint music in the back of the stream. I'm terrified about people being like, no, they have rights to the music. So I haven't done it yet. So you just get my melodious voice. You're welcome. Licensing. Everyone has to worry about licensing. Unless you're an AI. Ayo! Topical joke. Not a joke. Just a sad, sad statement. Alright, so where should I begin? That's a good question, me. Thank you for asking. The enemy base targeting player doesn't. Okay, let's take a look at that. It's open right here. Where am I grabbing the player in all of this? I got a player ref. Where am I getting the player ref? Am I just hard coding it? No, I'm not. I'm getting it from somewhere. Okay. You can't see it right now, but I'm using the magic of find references. Get actor of class. Find the first actor in the world of the specified class. What am I doing with it? Rotate to always face player. You know, does that work? Hold on, I gotta blow up my little computer here. I'm setting it to 2 player. And then I'm gonna turn on the play in editor window. All those use messages are them using smart objects. Ooh, I want to do more smart objects. Abandon this and make a Pixel Life Sims game in 3D. It could happen. Smart objects. Yeah, we don't have heads. Hold on, I'm gonna go into Miro and be like, no heads in MP. Oh, we're being attacked. Get out of here, I'm in Miro. Alright, anyways. Oh, there's another one. Get out. Get out of here. Alright. So, I can see them. They're always turning to face me as a flipbook. Where's my window? All right. Let's work for this guy too. Oh, someone got hit over there. Whoa, someone's stuck in the damage state over there. Interesting. But yeah, it looks like all of these guys also are working correctly for that. But now I gotta go see. Why is that one guy stuck in? He's not stuck in a damage state. Over. Why is that aiming like that? Alright. Can I reproduce that? What does this look like whenever I'm multiplayer? Hey man. Okay, number one, I'm now hitting myself with the pistol. And that's even worse now. Anyway, I'll look like this. I'll come back over to this guy. Yeah, you don't see bullets at all in multiplayer. Let alone this craziness going on. Why shoot down there? So I think what's going on is something to do with the collision check. Some part of the sphere trace is getting messed up when I'm getting near objects. Like I'm not aiming at stuff. But all these objects with interact, I guess not. What? So something's happening with that aim point and collision and spawning the bullet. And it's not going right. Client isn't seeing damage states get taken away. This guy and his freaking rifle problems. And he's like, oh yeah? Oh, he only hits himself. And he hits himself. Oh, I gotta write all this down. And then just in general, I have a feeling maybe it's literally interactive objects to begin with. All right. So much stuff to go into. I'd love to go into it. let's keep going into it. I was sitting there debating, just completely jumping into discussing leadership. It's a weird thing discussing leadership whenever I am the only person doing this game. But I've been a leader before. I guess I'm talking about it now. In various ways, on various projects, officially or unofficially. Leadership is a service job. What do I mean by that? Well, leadership, not being the boss, but being a lead, is in service to the project, people above you, and especially the people below you, the people who report to you. Oh, don't say below. That devalues the people. Nah, just talking about organization charts that are flow charts going from top to bottom. You know what I mean? Not being mean. And what do I mean by in service to? Well, the project needs stuff in order to exist. People need stuff in order to make the project exist. Number one priority is project make exist, and all the little parts hanging down from that. So I used to be like, I can't wait. I thought getting into the game industry was going to be like, hey, everyone here, it's a free exchange of ideas, and best ideas float to the top, and then you can get excited by an idea, and then talk to people about how, like, design's job was to literally tell everybody what we're doing. I was wrong. I learned that pretty quickly. Game industry different than that. People resent designers at a lot of places. I'm shocked. Always been shocked. People are like, oh, game design is a prestigious title. And then you're a game designer, and people were like, I don't have to listen to you. It's like this weird. I mean, it depends on where you are. I've been at places where it's like, yeah, I design this stuff, and people are like, you're not a designer. You're a developer. Designer means creative visionary who only does. Like, no, shut up. Doesn't designer means the person who's trying to figure out how to make this crap fun. Engineers make it work and make it work well. Artists make it look right and work well. Designers make it fun and work well. Producers get everyone on track. Make sure they're doing their work. Doing the right work. Getting what they need. None of that stuff happens in a vacuum. At all. But then it was funny because, like, after years and years and years of being a designer and learning, like, oh, it's not just like, here's idea, whatever the source, and then telling people how to do it. It's working with people to get that stuff done, but also making it fun. Got to make it fun. That's what designers are for. It's not just doing the thing. Like, once I get all these systems set up, once I get all these different enemies and I figure out the, you know, in the future, the art and the music, and I get all these little bugs fixed, there's still an enormous amount of work to make a fun game. Just having the pieces in place and a good plan, that doesn't mean it's going to be fun. Fun takes a lot of iteration. Fun takes clarity of vision. Like, literally, you have to see what's going on in the game clearly. Fun means not compromising on what the game needs to be. Fun means having people play it and listening to their feedback. One thing I learned very recently, and I say very recently, but it was not calendar-wise recently. Because I thought, I'm like, yeah, I'm a good designer. I'm a good leader. I've done it before. I do these things. I wear this hat, the fun hat, the get people do thing hat, the producery hat sometimes, the implementation hat, the documentation hat. Your neck starts to break, but you wear all these hats. And I'm like, yeah, I do good. And then, like, I had a dude yell at me on a project that I was a lead of, a director for. Yell at me. Yell. I didn't emotionally take that very well. I've never been yelled at. I've been in the industry for a long time. I wasn't yelled at. It's crazy stuff. The visceral reaction in that moment is to be like, this jerk, get him away from me. He's obviously incorrect. And what is this? But no, I had to move past that. And I had to go, what is he really saying? Is he right? And he kind of was. I didn't like how the message was delivered, but I apparently wasn't listening any other way. I made amends with the guy. He's a good guy. He's a good dev. Knows his stuff. I don't name drop or anything. I hope he's doing well now. We haven't worked together in a while. But he opened my eyes, painfully. I ran tabletop stuff for him. I invited him to the house. He came over, played board games and stuff for a while. Made up, made amends. Understood that just because the message was delivered in this way that I guess I kind of needed it to be delivered in, didn't invalidate the message. And the message was, I wasn't listening to the team. What does that mean? What does it mean to listen to a team? Especially a team of direct reports. It's not do whatever the team wants. It's not give them complete autonomy and everything. You still have to, get the project done. Project can't be what each individual on a team wants the project to be individually. There has to be a group vision of what the project is and should be and is and will be. That's why I like Scrum. It brings that stuff together pretty easily. That's a can of worms to talk about again. I spent a long time talking about that before. I'm not going to get back into it right now. But I love a correctly run Scrum. Keyword correctly run. Key phrase, I guess. Anyways, the team was like, hey, not we should try crazy ideas. The team was like, hey, we really need to do this thing. And I'd be like, one of two things. I'd be like, no. Or I'd be like, okay, and then I'd do it. Or at least I'd try. And if it didn't work out for me, it wasn't part of the game. I tried to do everything. Not the art, not the animation, not the stuff I know I didn't know how to do, but the systems design, the gameplay design, all that stuff. That was me. And when it wasn't working, I wasn't listening to my team about it. When there was a better way, I wasn't listening to the team about it. So I got yelled at. And that was bad, but it made me listen. It made me stop, and it made me self-reflect, which I think is a very important thing to do. Is to really look at yourself and what you're doing, and consider it, and go, yeah, they're right. How do I fix this? So the way we fixed it was there's a problem with the game feel with guns. Just one. This is one little example of things that changed, but I'm giving it to you. And the problem was the guns didn't feel great. They didn't feel different enough. Mathematically, they work great. Mathematically, balance-wise, they did everything I wanted them to. Didn't feel different enough in the game. So, want to listen to the team on it. Two guys on the team. It was only a 10-person team. Two guys on the team. Like, hey, we got good ideas for this. It won't take terribly long. We want to implement them. We want to show them. We're going to fix the guns. We're excited to do it. We're going to make them feel really different. Low risk. Those guys taking a few days to do this, low risk. This wasn't like a make or break moment. So it was easy for me to say yes. It's still something I should have said yes to, even if it was a higher risk moment. But it wasn't. This is my example. They knocked it out of the park. Glorious victory. They did things that I would have been afraid to do with the guns. Huge gun, like an elephant gun. Pull the trigger. Boom! Snaps your view straight up. Straight up! Like it has the craziest recoil on Earth. And the damage. Crazy different. It wasn't just that. There's a bunch of guns. And a lot of guns. They fixed them. They just fixed them. I trusted them to fix them. Sounded like they had a plan. They were excited to do it. We had the time available. And then they did it. And whenever we're talking about it being done and the person paying for the project saw it, they're like, good, perfect. I'm like, yeah, that was these people. They knocked it out of the park. Publicly. Made sure people knew that wasn't me. That was them. And if it wouldn't have worked out, well, then part of leadership is being like, yeah, that's on me, not on them. I asked them to do the thing. And if it didn't work out, that's still on me. I've worked for people. Oh, oh boy. Oh boy. I've worked for people who are excellent at taking credit and distancing themselves from problems, from mistakes, from failures. And it works. That worked for a lot of people. It's bad. Don't do that. If you want to be a real leader, you take responsibility. You take that weight off the shoulder of the people that report to you. When they're like, I don't know if we should do this. You listen to them. You ask them why. You have that conversation. And if they still have to do it, you say, hey, this is what I'm asking you to do. It's on me. This thing blows up in your face, blows up in my face. I will shield you from the explosion. Take that weight off their shoulders. Make sure that they're going in the right direction. Make sure that when they do something good, everybody knows that they did something good. That's how you build morale and enthusiasm and confidence with people. If you build a system where 100% of the skin in the game is from just the workers, and you're completely absolved of it, then you're a piece of crap. Shouldn't be a lead. I don't know what you should be. You're the one that needs the introspection at that point. You need to look at yourself and why you're doing this. I know it's fear-based, especially in this economy. But it's happened way before the economy was crappy. As a person who's worked on systems for a long time, there's a lot of flaws in a lot of systems in the real world that we use to operate our day-to-day lives. You can just see it. You can just see it out there. Exploits, loopholes, bad outcomes. Do we want to enable that when we talk about leadership? Do we want to say, hey, if you just sacrifice everyone around you, but you look clean all the time, and it's going to eventually destroy the business? Is that what we want to get people to do? You reward people in video games for doing the stuff that you intend for the game to do. And people will always find their own fun. And you can also punish people for doing things bad ways, and they'll still do it if they have fun. Right? But the systems that you've set up will reward people for doing the things that the game needs them to do. Defeat monster, get XP, get treasure. So you go out, you fight, you defeat the monsters. You get rewarded. Even if it's a hard fight. That's how it works. Multiplayer game, you gotta go gather stuff. Reward players for gathering and crafting in a game that has gathering and crafting. You don't want people to go out and do like terrible toxic behaviors. Don't reward those terrible toxic behaviors. And a lot of people, if they're interested in the game, they'll fall away from those behaviors. People who just want to come into whatever game and mess stuff up, they're going to do that no matter what. But you can keep the majority of people from doing it by not rewarding them. Business? Good businesses, healthy businesses don't reward that kind of behavior. They don't reward people who will just set fire to the place and walk away unscathed. The opposite should be true. If someone's working for me, I want to make sure that they are confident that if that blows up, that's not their job. Now, there's some things that happen where that's impossible to guarantee. You wake up one morning, suddenly your project's gone. You could be the best worker, the best leader in the history of history, and wouldn't prevent just random shutdowns like that. Wouldn't have mattered if you're on a project and the whole thing gets scrapped. If you did a super awesome job and you got perfect reviews every year, doesn't matter. Project's gone. You're laid off. But outside of those kind of situations, if a leader is asking their team to do stuff and they're taking input from their team and they're taking input from the higher ups, they know, really what they're supposed to do, and they trust that team to figure it out, and that team trusts them to have their back, to shield them from problems. They trust their lead to take responsibility for what the team is doing. And when it all blows up, that lead, maybe that's it. Maybe that armor reduction is gone. Maybe that lead is on their way out. That's just how it works. Better for a team to be doing good work they're confident in and burn the lead if things don't go right than for a team to try to do good work that they're confident in and burn the team while the lead is fine. I'm a creative. I can imagine a situation where maybe you just got a team of psychopaths and it really isn't the lead's fault. Not sure it matters. Lead's job. Director? That's an order of magnitude different. You become a person who teams report to. And the details change, but the overall job, I'm really going off on this. The overall job for a director is still to make sure those teams are working on the right things and they're confident and excited and protected. And not to meddle a whole bunch, not to do it all themselves. It's a hard lesson. If you're a doer, if you are a go-getter, if you're a self-starter, when problems arise, you jump in there and you fix them. You do this stuff. You get into the engine. You're doing the engine stuff. You're searching it. And you're a member of a team, but you want your reputation to be this. And this is what you do. Get your hands dirty. Get in there. Smack your head off these problems. And then they make you a lead. You have a tendency to still do the thing that brought you success in the past. It's really hard to evolve past that into being the person who trusts the other people to do this work, who can help them when help is needed, but is not the person who is going to jump into the tools unless it's absolutely needed. I've been in places where directors will jump into the tools and do stuff where they feel like the people who report to them aren't really hitting what they need. And they understand, in these specific cases, they knew what they should have done, but they were under pressure. So they just jumped in and did it. I get it. Everyone knows that's not the ideal way of doing this stuff. A meal has appeared. Thank you. Now I get to be in the delightful position of munching loudly while trying to talk about this stuff. Yeah, that's one of the big things I learned. Listen to the team and trust the team. Don't let them run roughshod over the whole project and do whatever they want. That's chaos. You still have to direct them and make sure the right work's getting done. But it ties right back into Scrum. In Scrum, product owner brings goals. in the ideal, I've never seen it before kind of way, they just bring it to the whole development team. And the development team naturally forms sub-teams, scrum teams to deal with the different aspects of a problem as they discuss it. But we'll go in the more real-world thing where you still got departments and teams, right? So goal shows up. Here's the goal, some information around it, and then the team works on it. They work on figuring out how to achieve that goal in the planning together, asking people, whoever they need to ask about details, until the end of the meeting. The meeting doesn't end until there's no more questions. The work is planned out. The product owner, the lead and product owner overlap a lot, even though they're still different. Maybe director and product owner, they're different roles. But anyways, the product owner who is in a leadership position comes back and says, what are your tasks? How are you going to achieve the goal? And they kind of review it. And if there's any problems or anything that they missed, any requirement that's not going to be filled, they discuss it. And that's either, different tasks now or whatever. Maybe it's a different goal. But the team came up with a solution. The leader came over and said, yeah, all right. You get to a point by the end of that meeting, it's supposed to take all day, that planning meeting. The product owner signs off on it, says, yeah, I trust you guys to do this. And I trust that this work that we've all reviewed together, that this is going to get us to this goal in the way we've agreed upon. And then they back the heck off. They're not there meddling during a sprint. A sprint is a protected time. Protected time. It's why goals shouldn't change during a sprint. It's a big deal if goals change. And the team does the thing. And then every day they have a little meeting saying, we're doing okay. And someone says, oh, I'm having this problem. And then the scrum master goes, you're having that problem, you got to talk to this person. They get them talking. And then the problem's solved. And keep going. Minimal meetings. And no micromanagement. Oh, micromanagement. The whole thing about beating your head against development stuff is in a leadership position. Well, sometimes that might be unavoidable. Don't micromanage. Oh, I'm not allowed to come in here and actually move the things around and plug them in and solve the problem myself. Well, then I'm just going to stand over shoulder of Bob's shoulder, and say, hey, Bob, move this here, move this here. Look, everybody, I'm not doing the work. Bob, click on that. Bob, do this. That shows you don't trust your team at all. You don't trust them at all. Well, they have to earn trust. Good. To earn trust, you say, hey, we're going to see how this goes. You got 2 weeks to try this out. We'll check in every day to see if you're doing it right. No, bad. Check in every day to see if you've got any problems or blockers. See if anything pops up needs dealt with. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. I'm not going to do your job for you. Trust you to do your job. Put you through a rigorous hiring process. Oh my goodness. Get hired at a place for a thing and then it takes forever. And you get there and it could literally have been anyone that they hired because they don't trust you to do the work. They don't let you just be the creative person that they tried to make sure you were in the hiring process. What? Systems, man. Oh, food is good. I don't know if you've noticed. Food's delicious. I don't know if there's anything more delicious. So yeah, leadership. What the project needs done, helping people get it done by trusting them and empowering them to figure out how to do it on their own. Shepherding them, taking responsibility. making sure the people below you have their victories celebrated, helping them grow professionally. I'd really like to be like, hey, I've been through a lot of stuff. I know a bunch of stuff. I also know the situations are different, but I like to use some of that knowledge that I've gained to try to keep people from falling into those same pitfalls I fell into. Guide them around, help them learn. I want the next generation of developers to be better than my generation of developers. And I want to make sure that happens. And that's mentorship and training and all that stuff. I want to help. I want delicious food. You can probably hear that. Oh, I'm so sorry. At a certain point, the joke just gets gross. You want to sit there and hear someone chewing on their delicious food you don't have access to. Leadership. It's good when it's good. It's bad when it's bad. Defending and teaching and trusting, good. Passing the buck, passing blame, micromanaging, burning your team, bad. Can't do it all yourself. Shouldn't try. That being said, let's get back to doing it all myself. I moved around a thing and it's like, hey, you got to save it again. All right, player reference. This worked. Therefore, an enemy base targeting. Oh, I think I know what this means. Ah, crap. They'll never shoot at player 2. They won't. That means it's in the ability. I played myself. I said BP enemy base, but that works. Find references by name. Yeah. Well. Nom, nom, nom. I'm not setting it wrong. It's getting it from the gameplay event data for when it shoots. Now, is that in here? That's sensing. You don't get any abilities here. You get abilities here. And on enemy base, giving them weak shot and equip weapon. Equip weapon. I'm like an archaeologist in my own head. So if the enemy's equipping weapons like the player is, why? Why? Could be just from learning the system. I know that the tutorial I was following literally had 3D weapons that enemies would equip. We don't. The enemy is the weapon. And this is where I'm assuming the problem with the rifle is happening too. Only equip. Something else to look at. Alright, my perception has been updated on everyone, but this is just me. Which perception? Perception gets updated whenever we send a signal, a perception signal, to enemies. A signal of a certain kind. Sight, sound, damage. Sight hearing damage, I should say. Aha! Right here is where it is. I found you. I'm gonna have to loop, I think. I have to loop through all the sensed actors. Give me a second. I'm gonna scarf down this food. Please hold. We'll start and see how many guys attack me right at the beginning. That'll be fun. While I'm eating. Noms time. More food than I thought. Hold on. How is it this much food? It didn't look like it. Ah, they killed me. I'm dead. Oh, there's my body. Right. So. So I know this works. We just need to get a different kind of reference. So if I'm like, get all actors. Oh no. Of class? Then say character. Per character. And then. Hold on. I don't like looping every time they see it. Should I break? Should we loop with break? Should I stop when they get to the first one? Let's try it. No, that's not how that works. No, we'll just do loop. Someone's probably screaming at me right now. No! Use the loop with break. Is it the player? Is it a player? Yes, is equal. Alright. Switch your state. Is this gonna do anything? Am I chlorbing up the wrong tree? Hold on. This work? Yeah. Find a guy. Probably be easier if I just didn't have it for everybody. Okay, so they saw me. Get out of here. Alright. They're already attacking, so that didn't matter. But it did trigger right. So that's getting through. So what we're going to do is set it up for 2. Is it going to work right? No, it's not going to. No. Is this one? Is this one? It was set to the right one, it just didn't want to display it. Alright, now can you guys just see me? Oh, they can, and then I can see them on my other screen. Oh, running around trying not to get hit. That's it, look at that! That's the fix, we fixed a thing. With our knowledge, I need to shut off the thing. Oh, they hit each other. Hey. That's right, my combat doesn't work, and I'm still seeing the other bugs. Permanently red guy. Now they're hitting me, but I don't see their hands on the client. Kind of expected. But you know what? Set that back to 1, get rid of that window. Open this back up. There we go. Fixed. It's a small thing. But it is just a little teeny tiny bit of progress. Working as a solo dev takes a long time to get anything done. But progress is progress. Let's celebrate that victory. Yay! Moving on. Oh, yeah, I'm going to update this. I think I'm done talking about leadership for today. Leadership, good. Good leadership, good. Bad leadership, bad. Help people. Be good. Don't burn team. Protect team. Trust team. You should try to trust the team. And they're like, oh, we messed everything up. Investigate, find out why, course correct, train, support. Try it again. Am I the best leader? No. Am I a good leader? I think so. Now. It's not an easy job. It's way easier in certain ways. Just to do this kind of stuff. Is George Lucas a good director? Yeah. Is he not good at directing people? Allegedly. I don't know. I'm not an actor. I never worked with him. But there's stories. The movies he makes still good? Yeah. Because he still tries. Right? I mean, you could have opinions on him. You have opinions on those movies and whether or not they're good, but I think at the end of the day, he might not be a people person for directing. That's fine. Does he have to worry about that anymore? No. He done. If he wants to be, do whatever he wants. You don't have to sit there and be like, if I don't get better at directing emotional scenes and dialogue with actors, my career is over. No, he's past that. But he still tried. He still did it. It's scary. It's hard. It's difficult. He did it. Right? You don't have to be perfect. Your heart has to be in the right place. You can't mess up in a way that costs a whole ton of money. You can try to do it right. Also, office politics. Man, we could talk about dark triad, psychopathy, narcissism, Machiavellianism, people whose goals are to just make themselves look better at the cost of everybody else to gain power or whatever. Man, don't be that. That poisons teams and projects. That destroys things. You want to run a business and make money? Don't do that. It's okay if you have like one person like that who's outward facing. The vicious guard dog for your studio. Maybe that's okay, because there's some sharks out there. But boy, internal? No. That's the antithesis of good leadership. Dark triad bad. Scary, scary bad. How do you deal with people like that? Oh, person who doesn't exist? Asking me this in chat? Carefully. Some people just inherently know how to use the mechanisms of studios and businesses to defend themselves, no matter what it is they do or how horrible. And to defend yourself against those kind of people, it takes 10 times the work that they put into stuff, which is one of the reasons why it's so horrible and destroys studios. If you got two people in leadership positions for different stuff, and the dark triad person has decided to devour the heart of the person who's trying their best for no good reason. I just want something on the resume or something, I don't know. Then that person who's under attack, if they even understand that they're under attack because they're a generally trusting kind of person, they're going to have to work so hard, so hard to avoid this stuff, and it's going to affect their job performance. It's literally going to take at least days out of every week, literally, when they should be spending that time just doing their actual job. Now, if you're a lead and you see this, like, if you're above two people doing this stuff, you gotta nip that in the bud. And for people who aren't people persons, where they lack confidence themselves and are afraid of being attacked by that same dark triad person, it's difficult, but if you don't do it, that's it. Might as well just end the studio and send everybody home. Dark triad stuff is destructive end to end. You don't want people like that in any position of leadership. You don't want people like that at all. Screen them out in the hiring process. Get rid of them if you find out that that's what they actually are. It's bad. I've been burned by it. I have many scars over the years from stuff like this happening. I didn't know what the term gaslighting was until it happened to me in such a way that it basically broke me in one job. No one helped. Don't know why. Bad times. Worst times. Worst. It's not what you want. It's toxic. Everyone throws that word around, but it has a real important meaning. Dark Triad is toxic. That guy who yelled at me, not toxic. Thought he was toxic, ends up not toxic. It's weird. It's a distinction. Because he didn't yell at me to boost his own career position. He yelled at me so I would hear him because I wasn't hearing anything else. I don't want to be yelled at all anymore, thank you very much. So I try to listen better now. Ugh. Don't only think about the bad times. Learned a lot. What if it happened to me again? I don't know. I have a tendency to want to just try to make job work. That's what I want. Job work well. Good thing happen. Bad things happen, try to deal with them. But there comes a certain time where you're trying to deal with so much of this negative stuff, you kind of lose your direction and your vision. Can't see things clearly anymore. And then, as if by some miracle, someone will come by and show you, friendly, like the writing is on the wall, and they will turn your head at the wall and open your eyes so you can't look away. And then you're like, oh, I gotta get out of this place. And then you leave. Not easy to do in this economy, that's for sure. Thankfully, it's been a long time since I've had to deal with that. Sometimes you get to places and there's just good people. They mess up, they make mistakes, but you stick with them because they're good people. And you trust them, and you hope that things will work out for them in the future. You support them if you can. There's a camaraderie to it, a shared feeling of trust. Don't let go of places like that if you can. And then when they go away due to nothing that was under anyone's control, mourn it, stay in touch, move on. And if something might come up with them again, sure. Try to help. Maybe some good will happen. I don't believe that just doing good deeds makes good deeds happen. Over the years, I've lost my ability to think that deserving as a concept is real. I don't think deserving exists. All you gotta do is find good people, try to help them. That's about it. There's no formula out there for any of this. I mean, there are. If you want to have a controller shooting a firearm kind of bullet bend to help aim on controller system, yeah, there's math for that. Based on the speed of the bullet, the distance of the guy, and how strong of a help that you want to give for aim assist. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in general for making games. There's no formula for it. You can't write down on paper, if we do thing A and thing B, then thing C will happen in a marketplace. It don't work that way. Find good people, help good people, try to go in the right direction. Anyways, all right. I said it was going to be a short stream today. We did one thing. We did one thing. Did this work? I believe it did. Guy got attacked. Can't see enemy attacks in multiplayer. I'm going to update Mira with that, and we're going to be done with the stream for today. Next time, with any luck, I will have had more time to actually tackle some of this stuff off stream. Which, as I'm getting used to streaming, is less and less of a problem. The whole idea of stream brain. No heads, an MP, his self with bullets, stuck in damaged state. This is more like a, well, okay, I'll just leave it here for now. Keys, pistol switching, flashlight, that should be easy. That should be easy to fix. You know, maybe. Maybe if I... Do I have my first-person character? Maybe we'll see if that is easy to fix. No. Get the worm can opener away from me. Let's see. Interact. Flashlight. It's just a light that I'm setting the visibility for. And then I'm flip-flopping. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll be so happy if this just works. It may not. It may not. Set visibility might have to live inside a rep notify to kind of force the system to do stuff. And this has to be on the server only. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Let's try it, though. Let's just see what happens. I set it to 2. I'll hit play. Pie window. Oh, my flashlight worked. Oh, that's right. Combat won't work for him. Get out of here. We're playing with flashlights over here. That's the wrong button because I have the gun equipped. Yes, I set them to the same thing. No, I don't have an unequip button. Flashlight should still work. Performance is very bad. Alright. That works for me. Although it's kind of getting blood. I need just a destroy everybody button. You didn't hear none of that over there? Okay. So anyways, flashlight is on, but my own shadow is in the way. However, can I see his flashlight? No, but I can see my own flashlight. And my own body's in the way. Okay, so before, pretty sure I couldn't see player 2's own flashlight. Let's get into things like this. Switch has authority. That means, is this the server? So gameplay event. Why do I have it set up like this? Oh, it's combo for melee. What I need to do is dive back into multiplayer scripting. I really do. I thought I had a place where I'm doing crazy server stuff. There, like this. Rep notify interact. Server interact. Interact on the interact actor. Get actor location of me as the interact target. Which works. Just works kind of sloppily. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Replication is server to client, so do this when you need the client to ask the server to do something. Which means if this was a rep notify variable, we'll do this next time. No, for real. Fix multiplayer. Because I was wrapping up, and then I'm like, we could try. It might be quick. I took a step. It's fine that it wasn't the right step, but we're going to keep at it. And we did fix a bug. A bug. Not bugs. Well, I hope you found this at least entertaining, if not somewhat educational. Maybe for the leadership talk and not the bug fixing that barely happened. But thanks for watching. I mean it. And I'll do another one before too long. Bye.